Hello everybody, this is Matthew Cotto of Senior Editor at Game Informer Magazine, here to run you through some tips for QBs out there, whether you're a rookie or Hall of Famer, for Madden NFL 15. A lot of it starts in the pre-play, before the snap. Obviously, you got your suggested plays there you can choose from. And as you're lining up, don't forget to look at this little pre-play radial menu that comes up. And this shows you some of the weaknesses as well as fatigue for your players. And you can see it's kind of useful because you can see where some of the mismatches are. Before the snap, it's a good idea to look at where the safeties are lined up. Here we have two safeties up top, but as you'll see, one of them comes down, leaving actually a single safety to cover, who immediately breaks on that ball, so I should know that. Conversely, here is a single high safety who starts at the beginning of the play, but he actually does not drive. He drops back into his zone, leaving that a better option. Here we're going to see some of the tighter coverages you're going to see from cornerbacks. See, he's right there on the hip in a man coverage, making that slant pattern not as easy to complete this year. Also, you'll notice that there's going to be more errant throws by QBs, and so you can get some more spectacular catches. That was a good man-to-man coverage. It doesn't mean you can't throw into that coverage, but it makes it a little harder. See there, he kind of undercuts the route a little bit, and each time it's going to be a little different. So again, you've got to be careful on some of those slant man-to-man routes that you pay close attention to what the cornerback's doing as he turns his hips. Even with some of the tight coverage, using total control passing will help. With the left analog, when you throw the ball, you can move it to go, to left or down at the receiver's feet to help you out. See here in this deep ball, the safety comes over, and this probably is not a good idea to throw this ball. But I throw it with a little total control passing hitting up on the left analog, and it helps me put the ball where I need it to go. As I mentioned in the pre-play, watching what the safety does is important. Here you'll see the safety start to cheat over to the slot receiver, and he's not able to make it back to me over on the far side. Now, you got to be careful with this because on a good safety, sometimes he'll be able to get over, sometimes he won't. Here you'll see he's actually tracks the slot but gets over. Now, deep balls is important to recognize your timing. Here we're going to see I throw it a little too early. He looks like he's open there, but the safety is able to get over. Now, if I have a little bit of patience and let the route develop, I'm actually able to complete a pretty good deep ball with a little total control passing. Now, this sense of timing is important because as you're passing through zones and linebackers and cornerbacks and safeties sit in zones, there are windows that you can identify. If a linebacker, for instance, is sitting in a zone virtually motionless, as you can see there, I threaded the needle between 4 players. Now, maybe that's not the smartest decision, but if you can recognize when the safeties are, moving or when they're standing still, it can help. In this example, by letting the routes develop, the crossing route actually frees open the tight end in the corner because he brings a cornerback down. Now, one of the very important things that you'll notice in the game is to tell. The head tells by the cornerbacks. The head tracking is pretty good, and so you'll have to be careful noticing when they break on balls, when their head's turning around following the ball. So here, before I even release the ball, I think my guy's open, but I should notice that the cornerback is already driving his legs to make a play on the ball. So this ball should definitely not be thrown, and certainly not because it's an interception. Here we see a similar instance where the cornerback is head tracking, and he's able to make a cut and drive back for that interception on that hitch route. Here's a little different, where he actually makes it back, but the receiver blocks him with his body enough that it's not a factor. And this is a little deeper route where we see the receiver drive the cornerback off, and he turns his body, turns his hips, and as you see that at the last second, he turns his entire body downfield. This enables me to complete the pass. And that is just a few of the tips you can use while you're playing as a QB in Madden NFL 15 to kind of help you become a better QB. Also, be sure to check out the skills trainer drills in the game.